The ledger, 23 years. That's how long I've been keeping records in this town, and my system has never failed me. Not once. I run the only hardware store in Millbrook Falls, Vermont. Population 2,847, according to the last census. Though my personal count puts us closer to 2,820 now. People move away, you understand. Young folks especially. Always chasing opportunities in Burlington or Boston, leaving us old-timers behind. At least, that's what everyone thinks. My ledger sits in the back office, leather-bound and meticulous. Most people assume it's for inventory, screws, nails, paint cans, the usual. But it tracks something far more important. Names, dates, methods, locations, weather conditions, alibis, a complete record of my work. Take Sarah Chen, for instance. Entry number 47, dated March 15th, 2019. Newcomer from California. Bought the old Prescott place on Elm Street. Kept asking questions about the town's history, poking around the cemetery, taking pictures. She was writing some book about New England Gothic mysteries, or some nonsense. I gave her 3 months to settle in, establish her routines. That's the key, patience. Sarah jogged every morning at 5:47 a.m. Took the trail behind the defunct mill. No streetlights, no houses with a clear view. On mornings when Tom Bradley opened the diner early, Tuesdays and Fridays, he'd see her pass under the one working lamppost near Main Street. Perfect alibi window. 5:30 to 6:15. The beauty of small towns is predictability. People are creatures of habit, and habits create opportunities. I knew Tom would mention seeing Sarah run past on that foggy Tuesday in March. Saw that California girl heading toward the trail, just like always, he'd tell Sheriff Morrison. Strange she never came back for her usual coffee. Sarah's listed as missing, presumed relocated. People do that. Leave without saying goodbye. Start fresh somewhere else. It happens all the time. The thing about being methodical is understanding your environment. Millbrook Falls sits in a valley carved by glaciers, surrounded by thousands of acres of state forest. The ground freezes solid from December through March, thaws into muddy soup during April, then hardens again by late May. Timing is everything. Winter bodies wait. Spring is for burial. I've perfected the art of patience. Mrs. Patterson, entry number 52, took 11 months of careful observation. She ran the town gossip network from her perch behind the post office counter, knew everyone's business. Too curious for her own good. But she had adult children who called every Sunday, a sister in New Hampshire who visited monthly. Complicated. So I waited, watched, learned her patterns. The breakthrough came when her sister moved to Florida. Suddenly, Mrs. Patterson's support network simplified. Sunday calls from her son in Denver, weekly grocery trips on Thursdays, doctor appointments in White River Junction twice a month. One February morning, during a particularly brutal cold snap, Mrs. Patterson slipped on the ice behind the post office. Natural accident, really. Could have happened to anyone. Except I made sure it did. The sheriff barely investigated. Why would he? Martha Patterson was 74, diabetic, living alone in a house with outdated wiring and steep back steps. These things happen in small towns, especially to elderly folks in winter. My system works because I understand the community's rhythms. I'm part of the fabric. Charlie Morse, reliable hardware store owner, 49 years old, never married, takes care of his aging father. Been here my whole life except for 4 years at UVM studying business. Returned when Dad had his first stroke, took over the store, became indispensable. People trust me. They tell me things. Charlie, my back door lock's been sticking. Think someone might be trying to break in. Charlie, I'm going to visit my daughter in Montreal next week. Can you keep an eye on the house? Charlie, I've been hearing strange noises at night. You think it could be animals? Information is currency, and I'm the richest man in Millbrook Falls. Tonight, I'm reviewing potential candidates for entry number 58. Jessica Kumar moved here last month, rented the apartment above the old bakery. Works remotely, something with computers. No local connections yet, no established routines. Too easy. I prefer a challenge. There's also David Henley, the new librarian. Mid-30s, quiet type, drives a Subaru with Massachusetts plates. He's been asking about the town's historical records, specifically about people who've gone missing over the years. Academic curiosity, he claims. Working on some research project about rural population decline. Now that's interesting. David represents a threat, but also an opportunity. He's methodical like me, keeps detailed notes, asks intelligent questions. A worthy adversary, perhaps. Someone who might actually appreciate the craftsmanship of my work before the end. I flip to a fresh page in my ledger, uncap my fountain pen, a Mont Blanc, my one luxury purchase, and begin a new entry. Potential subject number 58, David Henley. Age, 34. Occupation, librarian. Vehicle, 2019 Subaru Outback, Massachusetts plates. Known associates, none, local. Daily routine, to be determined. Risk assessment, high, curious nature. Opportunity window, to be determined. Notes, subject has been researching missing persons cases. May require immediate attention. Weather forecast shows heavy snow Thursday to Friday. Ground conditions unfavorable for disposal until spring thaw. Recommendation, extended observation period. Subject's research interests suggest potential for appreciation of methodical approach. Consider alternative to standard protocol. I close the ledger and lock it in the fireproof safe behind my desk. Tomorrow, I'll start watching David more carefully. Learn his patterns, understand his motivations. After all, 23 years of perfect records didn't happen by accident. Every artist needs an audience eventually, and David might just be mine.